The Trump administration wants to tighten rules for people in the U.S. receiving food aid. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, helps feed 1 in 8 Americans. Now, usually it's open to the unemployed or low-paid workers, but the White House wants to put in work requirements for anyone getting help. CGTN Sarah Walton reports.
This soup kitchen in New York feeds hundreds of hungry people each week. Among them is James Belez, who works when he can, but earns a low income. So he qualifies for a government program which gives him money to spend on food.
It doesn't last very long, but when I do have it, I'm access to do whatever I could need to do, like buy food and stuff like that, and, very limited stuff that I could buy, but at least I get something to buy, so.
He is one of the 40 million Americans that rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, or food stamps. Recipients get an average of about $125 a month that they can only spend on food and beverages. But it costs the country more than $60 billion a year, and President Trump wants to tighten the rules on who is eligible. So people will have to prove they are working or training for at least 20 hours a week to keep getting the payments. The Trump administration says the country has a strong job market, with unemployment at just 3.5%, and that the changes will encourage more people to work and be self-sufficient. But critics point out that 25% of those with the program are employed. They're just poorly paid.
The vast majority of people getting SNAP are working parents, children, senior citizens, veterans, and people with disabilities. The largest number of people getting SNAP are white, while the Trump administration and their allies often want to give the impression that this is somehow an inner-city problem or a non-white person's problem.
The Trump administration says the changes will save $8 billion over 5 years, while some experts argue the numbers are misleading.
A lot of the budget cuts are going to be taken up in externalized costs. If people aren't eating well, they're going to be sicker. They're going to have other kinds of problems that society is going to have to pick up. I think having a healthy diet for people is a really good idea. It saves on health care costs in the long run. It makes people able to work better.
The Trump administration has already tried several times to tighten eligibility for the food stamp program. The latest changes are due to come into force on April 1st. But more than a dozen states, Washington, D.C. and New York City are now suing the federal government to try to stop it. Sarah Walton,